He was a single dad, and his daughter Lily was his entire universe. Daniel worked a modest job, and his life was a quiet, disciplined rhythm of work, home, and Lily. He'd pour every last drop of his energy into her, making sure she had everything she needed. Despite his exhaustion, he never missed a single school responsibility, especially not at the elite private school he worked so hard to afford for her. When the notice for parent-teacher night arrived, a familiar knot of anxiety tightened in his chest. He knew he'd be a fish out of water among the wealthy, impeccably dressed parents. He put on his best clothes, clean and pressed, but undeniably worn. As he walked through the polished halls, he felt the subtle glances, the quiet judgments on his humble appearance. He ignored them, his focus solely on Lily's future. He pushed open the classroom door, and that's when he heard it. A voice he hadn't heard in years, but one his heart had never forgotten. He froze, slowly turning around. And there she was, Sophia, his first love, the girl he'd dreamed of a future with, a lifetime ago. He was completely stunned, a storm of emotions swirling inside him, but he forced a calm expression. Sophia stood there, the picture of confidence and grace, addressing the parents as the school's special guest and board representative. To Daniel, she was just a successful staff member, nothing more. But when her eyes met his, he saw a flicker of recognition, of shock. She knew it was him. In that instant, memories flooded back for both of them of whispered dreams and a painful goodbye born from misunderstandings and poverty. He had always assumed she'd left him for a richer life, a life where he was just a distant memory. As the formal meeting began, Sophia couldn't take her eyes off Daniel. She saw the exhaustion etched around his eyes, but she also saw the immense gentleness in the way he spoke about his daughter. Then Lily, bright and beaming, ran to him. "This is my dad," she announced to anyone who would listen. "He's the best dad ever." A powerful emotion tugged at Sophia's heart, seeing the man she once loved as this incredible father. The teachers showered praise on Lily, describing her as intelligent and exceptionally disciplined. Daniel just listened, a quiet, humble pride on his face. From her seat at the front, Sophia secretly admired the depth of his character. After the meeting, parents mingled over refreshments. Daniel, needing to get to his night shift, planned a quick exit. But a soft voice stopped him. "Daniel, can we talk?" It was Sophia. They found a quiet corner and began to speak, the years between them feeling both like an eternity and no time at all. They talked about their lives, their careers, and the joys of parenthood. Daniel was guarded, careful not to reveal the hardships he'd faced. Sophia noticed his restraint, his quiet dignity, and it only made her respect him more. She didn't reveal her true status either, letting him believe she led a simple, comfortable life. As they talked, Sophia learned that Daniel's wife had passed away years ago, leaving him to raise Lily all on his own. A wave of guilt washed over her for the way she had left him all those years ago, without a proper explanation. Daniel, sensing her regret, admitted he had never stopped caring for her but had accepted that their paths were meant to diverge. Just then the school principal approached their table with a beaming smile. "Madam CEO," he said, addressing Sophia, "I hope you're enjoying the evening." Daniel's world tilted on its axis. "CEO?" He stared at Sophia, stunned into silence. He realized she didn't just work for the school. She owned the entire education group. A deep sense of embarrassment washed over him. He felt small, insignificant, a world away from her. Sophia saw the change in his eyes immediately. "Daniel," she said softly, her voice earnest, "the money, it never mattered. It came after years of loneliness. You were always my greatest love." Daniel struggled to process it all. The woman he'd lost to what he thought was a desire for wealth was now a powerful CEO, telling him he was the one she'd never forgotten. It was too much. Just then little Lily, with the pure innocence of a child, looked at Sophia and asked, "Why do you look so sad?" Sophia's guarded composure crumbled. She knelt down, a warm, genuine smile gracing her lips as she looked at Lily. In that moment, she felt a profound connection to this little girl, Daniel's daughter. Impulsively, she offered to personally fund Lily's entire education. But Daniel, his pride intact, politely refused. He didn't want special treatment. And in that moment of refusal, Sophia's respect for him grew even deeper. In the weeks that followed, Sophia found more and more reasons to visit the school. She and Daniel started talking again, slowly, cautiously rebuilding the bridge between them. Over coffee and shared memories, the truth of their separate lives came to light. Daniel learned that Sophia had never married, never truly moved on. And she learned that he had remained single, dedicating his life to his daughter. Lily, meanwhile, grew incredibly fond of Sophia, her presence a warm and welcome addition to their small family. But Daniel struggled. The chasm between their social worlds felt too wide to cross. He was terrified of the judgment, of not being enough. Sophia constantly reassured him, telling him that love isn't measured by bank accounts or job titles. Their budding relationship was tested when a crisis erupted at the school. A wealthy parent tried to use their influence to cover up their child's wrongdoing, putting pressure on the staff. Daniel, a witness to the event, refused to stay silent. He stood up for what was right, for fairness, despite the risks to his own precarious position. Sophia watched it all unfold, seeing in him the same courageous, principled man she had fallen in love with all those years ago. He hadn't changed. Publicly, Sophia threw her full support behind Daniel, validating his actions and sending a clear message to the entire school community. The whispering parents who had once looked down on him now saw him with new eyes, with respect and admiration. He had earned their esteem not by changing who he was, but by being exactly who he was. With the air finally cleared, Sophia laid her heart on the line. She confessed that her feelings for him had never faded. Hesitantly, Daniel admitted he still loved her too, but his greatest fear was the emotional toll another change might take on Lily. Sophia looked at him, her eyes full of promise. "I will protect both of you," she vowed. And as if on cue, Lily gave her innocent, wholehearted approval to their union. With that, Daniel finally allowed himself to accept this unbelievable second chance at love. Sophia, in turn, began to step away from her guarded corporate life, letting her softer, more human side emerge. They faced the public scrutiny together, a united front. Sophia proved to everyone, especially herself, that family and love were her true priorities, not status or image. Daniel learned to believe in his own worth, to see himself through her loving eyes. Lily blossomed, gaining a mother figure who cherished her. Their past pain became the foundation of their future strength, and their love bridged the gap between two vastly different worlds. Daniel remained the humble, grounded man he always was, while Sophia found a new kind of success not in a boardroom, but in the warmth of her new family. Together, they found their way back to each other, proving that sometimes fate has a beautiful way of bringing lost hearts home. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more.